Giant's back in the news again related to stages, and the story goes that Giant is suing stages. Now, I don't know how that's going to work because it looks like stages have gone into bankruptcy, so they build this force field around them, like saying, I've got no money, I can't pay. So I don't know how Giant's going to get the money out of them, but as we know, stages got Giant to make a lot of products for them. They had some relationship. In fact, Giant actually had a head unit that was designed and made by Stages, but made by Giant, but designed by Stages. And they had this relationship. So now that Stages has collapsed, Giant obviously want their money because they've got outstanding bills that haven't been paid. And this is something like about £11 million from what the media is saying. So that's a pretty substantial amount of money. I mean, probably for Giant, it's not that much money, but the whole bike industry is not in a good way at the moment. And it probably would be nice to have that £11 million in their back pocket, because better for Giant than it is for Stages to have that. So that looks like what's happening. This is the cancer that's in the bike industry that's growing, and it's creeping from one company to another company, because I don't think Giant's going to get their money if Stages has actually claimed that they're bankrupt. Because when you're bankrupt, you're basically like saying, I haven't got any money to pay anyone, and it goes into receivership. And if the business is still managed, they look at what monies are there and they split them up. Giant maybe get something in the pound or dollar, maybe, who knows. But the reality is they're going to be out of pocket, I do believe. So Giant are going to be losing some money, even though they're trying to get that money back, taking action to do that. But yeah, this is like on the back of my last video where we just heard that Stages has gone under. And I think that this cancer, this disease, is going to spread for the bike industry. And there's a lot of pressure on the bike industry at the moment. People are becoming less active. People like using their cars more. People are getting into whatever devices to get around if they're not walking. People, even if they want some cheap form of transport, they don't want to pedal. Like, they don't want to pedal the bike anymore. They don't want to sweat. I've heard people say this. They say, oh, yeah, look, I want to get around, but I don't want to have to sweat, or I want to lose weight, but I don't want to have to sweat. So if people are actually verbalizing these type of things, it's showing that people are moving away from exercise. It's only people who have a real desire to do exercise that are actually doing it. So this is kind of really sad. Like in the old days, it was like if you wanted some sort of cheap form of transport that got you around pretty quickly, you had to get a bike, you had to pedal. But now these days there's options. And yeah, it's just another sad event that's happening in the bike industry. Well, it's just a quick one today, guys. So that's where I'm going to leave it. And I'll see you next vid.